a piece in the New Republic by Laura Reston called "The NRA's New Scare Tactics." Now, Sam's pointing this out a lot of times that gun sales skyrocketed under President Obama. They're decreasing under Trump because this primal white anxieties of Obama are not triggered, obviously, with Republicans controlling everything. So the NRA, again, it's a lobby organization for an arms cartel whose whole business model is predicated on, at best, a relentless, gross disregard for public safety and health, an absolute willingness for things like just happened in Vegas to happen unimpeded, just so long as it doesn't impact their profit margins. That is the domestic arms cartel that holds us hostage. That's how to understand it. And they have launched NRA TV. And we've actually played some sound of them in the past. We don't have any sound right now. And Reston makes the point that at each phase of NRA history, starting with in the early origins of it, focusing on the kind of outdoorsman sort of era and that kind of focus on hunting and exploring the great outdoors, the NRA identified with that. Then in the 50s and the 60s, there was an interest in this sort of notion, racialized urban decay, protecting yourself. And that obviously has been a major part of the NRA ever since. But don't forget, up until a couple of years ago, they still were funding anti-gun control Democrats. They even, yes, in fact, one election cycle, they did give Bernie an endorsement. That's, I don't want to get too much into that. That is highly contextual. It's in Vermont, and less of a sign of his record, which isn't great, but isn't that bad either, but more that they wanted to really position themselves, even with their extremist agenda, as more of a traditional lobby group. But under Trump, and you saw the origins of this with Obama as well, they've had to recalibrate their strategy. And so, they poured $30 million into his campaign, $1 million more to stack Congress with gun-friendly lawmakers, as Reston writes. But then she writes, but with Obama gone, Republicans firmly in control, the NRA is suffering. In the first 6 months after Trump was elected, gun sales tumbled by 9%. Vista, a firearms manufacturer that owns brands like American Eagle and Bushnell, saw profits drop 27% in the first 3 months of the year, a reversal of the company called an unprecedented decline in demand for ammunition and firearms. Individual contributions to the NRA, which account for roughly half its revenue, could also take a sharp plunge. The last time a Republican occupied the White House, the NRA's membership flatlined. They need a demon, says Robert Spitzer, a political science professor at State University of New York and author of The Politics of Gun Control. And what they've done is created NRA TV, which is in the realm of Fox News and Breitbart, and has capitalized significantly on racism, fantasies about Antifa. And even one of the hosts, in fact, said something like Antifa activists should be rounded up and taught what living in a real fascist society looks like. And Reston also notes that, even though there are actually many African-American gun owners in this society, of course, the NRA has never taken an opportunity, including after the murder of Philando Castile, who was a legal gun owner, to take up the side of an African-American who, in fact, in addition to everything else, obviously, Second Amendment rights were violated. So they're actually doubling down and burrowing more deeply into an aging white subculture, and they need to create a culture war for that. And that is the value of really understanding probably gun politics. Again, I would say not just as sort of like this kind of easy, like, oh, those people own guns and they're stupid or whatever. Because, first of all, a ton of people own guns across the board. That's just the reality of America, including many gun owners who support common sense things. And there's actually a change.org petition that a friend of mine's pushing that we'll put a link to on majority.fm, telling Congress to stop undermining gun laws. But what is the perfect distillation of plutocrat, neo-fascist Republican politics is that fusion of bottomless corporate money, a corporate sector that has no problem having blood on its hands as long as it increases profitability, and then a shock troop that is generated through manufacturing a fake culture war. That's right-wing politics. That's how the whole system works. So if you look at it as a specific ecosystem case study, it'll basically tell you, pretty much how that whole system on the right operates.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos